Imagine you're 17 years old. You've quit sixth form because it was utterly terrible. You've never really had a proper girlfriend and you're looking for work, but you're not really getting that successful. You kind of just want to move on in life from the old days of school. But the one thing you do look forward to every day is playing video games. So you've built up a bit of a sizable collection. Then imagine you come home one day and all those video games are gone. That's what happened to me. Let me tell you the story. So I was invited on a family holiday to Turkey, which is a crazy whirlwind of a story on its own. But let's focus on the games. When I got back from Turkey, I just walked into my bedroom. My dad had said that one of his best mates had kind of checked in on the house and said to his son, "Oh, Jake's got a load of video games, why don't you go and check them out?" But when I walked into my room, usually I had the shelves straight in front of me when you walk in, and they were piled like really high. But just a bare wall was there. So I thought that was really strange. What's going on? And, none of the consoles that I had were there, which at the time was PS1, PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast, and possibly one other thing as well. I still have a Master System actually. Anyway, on my desk where my TV sat, there was a small bookshelf, and on top of that bookshelf was where my huge pile of PS2 and GameCube games were. On the bookshelf itself were pretty much all the PS1 Final Fantasies that I still have to this day. So what we kind of gathered had happened was, on the day before we went to Turkey, it was really hot in England, and I had left my window open in my bedroom, not realising before we left that it was still open. So some little chavvy scrote dickhead got a ladder and popped it up against my bedroom window, climbed inside, and stole all my games and consoles. It crossed mine and my dad's mind that maybe it was someone my dad knew and they knew we were going on holiday, but it also could have been just a random person anyway, because we were living in Bramley and it's not a very good area, especially when it comes to burglary. One thing I do know about this person is they didn't really know much about games, because I had Final Fantasy Origins and all the other Final Fantasies on the PS1, which at the time were probably some of the more expensive games that I owned. The prices of the Final Fantasy games have come down a bit now. I think at the time they were at their peak though. So, if it was me, I would have nabbed them as well. There was also a huge CD booklet that had all my pirated games that my dad had got over the years, and that was taken as well. And that included Punky Skunk, which was given to me by Aaron, and it's such an amazing game, and I really want to get that back again. Other games I had were Super Smash Bros. Melee, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes on GameCube, and also Suikoden Tactics on PS2, which are all pretty expensive now. Luckily I managed to rebuy Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter for pretty cheap actually, but I had this as well. I still haven't got Twin Snakes back. So we of course contacted the police, and they of course did jack shit. They were never caught, nothing really we could do about it. But there is more to the story, because at the time I was obsessed with train sets, and I still pretty much am, but I don't have a train set right now. But anyway, I had a train set as a kid. It was like a Thomas the Tank Engine train set, and I used to make huge train sets going all the way around the house and shit. And it was in like a massive bucket, or a couple of buckets, in my dad's bedroom for some reason. I can't remember why, maybe just no space in my room. And the next time I looked in this train set bucket, I noticed that there was a lot of liquid in there, strangely enough. Some yellow looking liquid. And I thought, you dirty, thieving bastard, you've pissed in my train set bucket. And I was just so angry. Like, I was even more angry, of course, as you would be. So I had to throw my train set away, and That was, I guess, the time when I was least interested in video games, probably due to that incident. I had a Dreamcast controller left over that I traded in at GameStation, and I believe I just rebought a PS2 and Final Fantasy X maybe, or something like that, and just went back and played the old Final Fantasy games that pretty much got me into gaming to begin with. This was also around the time I got rid of all my official PlayStation magazines, and I had quite a big collection built up as well, which is pretty much the dumbest thing I've ever done. But as I say, my passion for video games kind of took a dip for a little bit there, until eventually when I bought my slim PS3 and got the Yakuza games. That was when it really reignited for me, and I went from not really being bothered about collecting video games to thinking, you know what, there's so much stuff that I missed from the older generations of consoles, like the original Yakuza games, that I should really go back and start collecting, PS1, PS2, and it just all sparked off from there. I would love to find out who stole my video games. I never did, but I've not been in a fight since I was 14, and I believe that would, cause a fight if I ever did find out who it was. Because it did affect me for quite a while, I got really paranoid about being burgled again. However, I did go back to Turkey the very next year, and everything was fine, and touch wood. I don't say touch wood, but I've not been burgled since. Because you can't see it off screen, but I've got a vicious dog and a laser alarm system right there, right at that door. So don't even try it. If after my tale of woe you feel really sorry for me and want to help me reacquire Suikoden Tactics and the Twin Snakes, then good, because you can now buy official The Retro Perspective mugs and t-shirts and a host of other things from our Teespring, as well as joining us on Patreon. I also compose the music for the Retro Perspective, so you can purchase an album of mine on Bandcamp if you wish, and we also accept donations of cryptocurrencies like XRP and Ethereum. Links for all of that are down below. That was weird. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little story about how all my games are stolen. I certainly didn't. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. I've been Jake of The Retro Perspective, and I'll see you next time.